majeshi yetu kuweni macho, wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you for being with us. From me back to my host, it was nice being with you. Asanteni sana kuwa na mimi. Your favorite host, Esco Inajar. Thank you.
God bless Kenya. Na kwaheri. Tupatane kesho saa ni ile 7 a.m. to 10. See you and have a lovely day ahead of you. Bye.
Bwana baki hapa umejetewa.
Okay, ngojeni. One at a time, bro. Let's not make this a marketplace. Kwanza Ndovukali, hebu mute mic yako. Ndovukali is the coitus interruptus himself. Samuel, come back.
Kibe, you know, marriage has always worked for the man. Always, since the beginning of time. The understanding of marriage was leadership inakuja kwa in a family unit. Kusema, this is kwamba we take cues from this particular
what was the purpose? No. What was the purpose of marriage? Let's go back to that. Ahead. Yes. No, don't.
Okay, the purpose of marriage.
Give me the purpose.
Okay, to build a union. Okay.
For what?
The purpose of marriage was to cohabitate.
For what?
Cohabitation, Kibe.
For what?
For strength in a community, to build up a civilized community, Kibe.
So,
what do you mean for what?
So there was a plan.
Hold on, Kibe. The plan was kukuwa na formidable society. Ndo ukilea watoto, kumbuka, remember, kids were coming up. You never.
But Samuel. Men, people never existed by themselves. So, marriage, like now, if you go to the Maasai community, which we can still have a small glimpse into how we all lived when we go to the Maasai community of today.
Okay.
Yeah, you agree with that, right?
Yes.
So the Maasai community, they believe that wives come in to help take care of whatever the man has. It's not emotional. So even you'll hear another wife telling the guy, hey, by the way, you should get another wife because this work is becoming a lot. You get it's completely it's a logical arrangement. It's completely it's business. It's, hey, I'm going to come and pick your daughter, and this guy will tell me how good he's kept his daughter. She's disciplined, she works hard, because that's what you need. And then she's fertile. She's going to get you as many babies as you want. Because remember, you're creating your own army. That was what marriage was for then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
And that marriage,
Now,
that
Kibe,
institution,
marriage
let me finish that point. And that institution was protected by that whole community. The institution was protected so that you, Samuel, if you become a dick to your wife, we can step in and tell you, hey, we don't do that. And if your wife becomes lazy, then we can step in and say, hey, where does she come from? You see what I mean? So, so what's the purpose of marriage today? Today, when you say people are coming together, what's that purpose?
Today, unlike before then, we have a modern woman and a modern man that believes they are equal. Unlike back then, they believed that a man was, hey, listen to this, Kibe. Today, having a modern woman, today, with the feminist thing, that what a man is equivalent of doing is the same as what a woman should be equivalent. If a woman can cheat, if a man can have 3 wives, a man should have 3 men. It's, you are just the same as me. Back then, that was not the principality of things. The thing was, a man is the leader. If he chooses to have 2, 3 wives, that's what a man has decided. And I'm going to listen to that particular thing because it's leadership that is showing in the house. You haven't produced. Remember kitambo Kibe, ilikuwa una produce mwanaume. Una mwanamke acha nitafute bibi mwingine, mwenye ataniletea kiumbe mwanamume, mwenye atainherit kenye ndakuwa nayo. Let's not forget other things zimekaa hapa hivi. But the main point hapa ni kwamba a modern woman today, I believe kwamba, is as equal as a man. Whatever a man can do, a woman should have and should be possible of doing today. So regardless unakuwa kwa marriage gani, hakuna that balance. Marriage ni balance of power. Okay? Unacohabitate na wanawake.
So papas, jibu swali. You've done everything. You've done. No, hold up, Sam. I'm interrupting you because you're not answering the question. If you had started answering the question, I would have shut the fuck up. What is the purpose of marriage today? You're telling me about yesterday. I'm just from telling you about yesterday. So move away from yesterday. Tell me today what the purpose of marriage is, because you're here complaining that the woman doesn't listen to you because she's on the same level as you. So I'm asking you again, unless you don't have is your speaker working?
I have an answer. Let me answer then. Let me answer then. It's a continuity of our civilization. It's continuity of civilization. That's what marriage is about today. This particular purpose today. It's continuity of what we have, of what you've built, of what you're working off right now. Whoever's going to be left with this is coming up right now.
But how you see it sounds like you've said something very intelligent. And for a minute there, I was taken aback. I was in awe. I was mesmerized. Yes, for a minute there, I was like, this guy said something. But we don't need marriage to have babies. The black community has shown us that.
I understand that. Remember,
yeah,
Kibe,
so marriage is not, but marriage is
not the only way out, Kibe. Listen.
But marriage is a problem. For me, I'm not saying about the only way out. For me, I'm on the other side of this marriage. I'm saying this marriage of yours is a problem because it's just mute your mic for a second. Let me explain it so that Moby can come here. I want Moby to come running. I am on the other side of the equation. I am saying, okay, of the fence. I am across the river. You guys were on that side. Me, I'm telling you, you are the problem. Because all that evil that is on that side, we are made responsible for it on this side. So you guys are the problem. You're the liars. You're the philanderers. You're the ones who are spreading all these diseases. You're the ones who are fighting with other people because your woman has been taken. You're the ones who are cheating your own people. Imagine some of you men and women are going to go tonight or this evening. And I want you to see how this is crazy, someone, because you're talking about we need marriage. Some of you, some of you this evening are going to go and be with somebody else and enjoy their company while feeling guilty. Something you should not be feeling because you put yourself in this stupid situation. You feel guilty because you've met somebody you like. You don't have to be boxed into this world to only like one person. But now you went because you fell for it. Just like the lady earlier said, you fell for the trap and you are boxed into it. And now you have to stand by that decision that you make and even defend it to death because you don't want to look stupid. But you have met so many women that you wished you could have, but you never did. She has met so many men she wished she could have, but she never did. Probably she did. You didn't because of that guilt. And you want to be with this person, and if you are with this person, then for the rest of your days, you are going to start dying slowly from all the diseases that are coming with you becoming a fucking liar. Because that's what happens to you guys. You guys in marriage are dying of all diseases. Every disease. That's why you're dying before your wives. So I'm asking the question, Samuel, and because we are logical human beings, shouldn't we at least one day, using common sense, sit down and say, you know what, we need to redefine what marriage is in 2024? Instead of us trying to make this thing into a hybrid, this shit.
Now, Kibe, there I agree with you.
Kibe, hold on. Yes, now, Anthony, you're right on point. The redefinition has to come back. Now, if that's what you are asking, then that's exactly what because marriage has been redefined, Manze Kibe, and if that's what we want, we need to go back. Everyone else has to chip in about that because it's not what its functionality hasn't proven anything at all yet. Kwa wale inawafanyikia. Remember Kibe, I don't want to be deceptive kusema ati kwamba. Kibe, help me understand kwamba you can't be happily married, but you can be happily in a relationship. Kibe, ebu niambie, is it about one way out or what? Okay? Because kwangu mimi naangalia nasema, okay, something is not adding up hapa. Maybe marriage has been defined a whole different way. With having a modern woman today, it's not the same woman alikuwa before. So, if kama unasema what's the purpose of marriage, ni kusema, then what's not the purpose of marriage? Let's say we don't have it. It's not essential. It's just been institutionalized. Kibe huwezi kuwa hata anything kubwa kama una familia. And right now ndo nasema, if it's not institutionalized, then what next then? You haven't institutionalized this thing. Marriage becomes kwamba aje. Even the definition kwamba sasa with this generation itakuwa, it's not even between a man and a woman. It's whatever you want it to be.
And actually, Samuel,
it's just marriage.
Yeah. Every generation will redefine marriage differently. Okay. When Kibe came and said about our forefathers, them it was for security of the clan and procreation of the clan. Then it came to our wazazi wetu wamesoma. For them, it was religious because they were taught it is religiously right to have one wife, which was very different from their fathers. Then came us, I think the millennials and the Gen X's. Now, we tried to define marriage differently from our fathers. Okay? And that's why you find now this is where we are. It wasn't properly defined. So no one has a definition of what exactly marriage should be doing. Some people feel it is a scam. Others are trying to do what their parents did. Others have gone back to where what their forefathers did, especially like here in Mount Kenya. Polygamy is almost a thing. So this generation is still trying to define it. And most of us are lost. And just to pivot kidogo Kibe, I hosted a space and I think Samuel was in it. And a young guy came in and said, do you know the reason why we can't comprehend leadership? It's because most of us grew up with single moms. So we don't know what leadership looks like. Hatukufunzwa na hatujui. So mnajaribu kutufunza kitu hatujui. I yield. But Kiba, you've really nailed it on the point.
Adaptation. It's adaptation of what we coexist today. Because next year and next future, like today, remember, a long time ago, people thought there were two genders, right? Now they say there's more than that. So that means things will change later. It's just how, whatever we think, sometimes we think is the reality of things. Manze, sometimes it's not. And I think principality ya hiki yote, we just redefine it. But keep redefining something that was already defined before, just seems to end up a loop and loop and loop. Maybe that's what it is. We are humans and should have failed all the time, looking at something that is genuine right there. Saying that there's no benefit to it, that's just pure. Maybe say there's no benefit to marriage at all. Come on. You never say kuna failure. Maybe there's no effective marriage. Okay? I've seen effective marriage. People in power. It's a power play. It's a position. Unatembea na dema hapa hivi unaongea pale. it shows something different na mjama mwingine, but when you talk about
but
position ya
Samuel,
power,
Samuel,
leadership,
Samuel,
Kibe, come on. Niambie.
Those marriages are the marriages of old, where two people came together logically to do business. Like, hey, I'm coming together with you and I want to be the president of the country. So you have to play that part. Whether I'm a homosexual or whatever I do, that's none of your business. Now that works because that's a business. The emotional marriages are the ones I'm talking about, where people are running away from each other and are cheating on each other. Because remember, you're connected to this person emotionally. This marriage had no purpose. You just met this Chile in the club, and then you guys decided to get married. There's no reason for the two of you to be together. So when I look at you, apart from you getting kids, there is nothing else that will ever come out of this union. You're not building an empire, you're building nothing. These are the majority, 99.9% of the marriages. And this majority, they work for the world very well. Because this majority are the people who are blind and deaf and dumb. They hear no evil, they see no evil, they say nothing, do nothing. You cannot depend on these men for anything. 99.9%, the 0.1% have an arranged marriage, which involves a lot of sleeping around with other people.
So Kibe, you're saying that sex is the most important thing when it comes to marriage. It's just marriage is a way of controlling this particular part of sex because that's where emotions comes with it. Because when somebody thinks and a cheat, back then that was not called cheating, Bana Kibe. Okay? So if that's the emotions then you attached to what marriage is, it's just bounded to where mmesema, then marriage is a contract-based system that is adjusted when time comes along. Because whatever you have a contract with someone else, my marriage works well. Why? Because it's a different type of contract.
But I'm trying to tell you, marriage in itself should remain only a contract between two people. That's it. That's only the. That's
institutionalized.
Exactly. That's the only thing that should make sense.
A marriage
it should not be
institutionalized. Exactly.
Hold up. Yes. So we should exactly. That's the word. We should not make it now. It's like the way everybody has to go to primary school. Now everybody has to get married. No, marriage should be like for the elite, the few, the ones who who have what it takes. It should be aspirational almost. It's like a Lamborghini. We cannot allow these useless people who've not built themselves to go into marriage. What do you think they're producing? Look at the quality of the kids they bring to this world. It's ridiculous. So as men, we should look at this society because that's what you do with your cows.
100%.
That's what
Anthony.
For once, Anthony agrees.
I also think this is the best action inaweza chukuliwa. This installation ya kusema kwamba just because the marriage itself, marriage ni kama tu kukuwa na relationship na mjamaa mwingine like unasema, but it shouldn't be the kwamba is the course of action to any other thing ya mjamaa anafanya in his life. It should not be dictative ya anything else. But Kibe, how do you get to that? Kwamba it's already embedded in our system. Hisi kitu mkoloni alileta ni kitu tulikuwa nayo ya mambo ya marriage. I just don't know how we can redefine it back to basics ya kusema kwamba aje this literally it should be just about wewe na mwenye unajisikia kivyako, isikuwe about dictate anything else around it. I just think you're on the right path hapa, but what's the course of action about this sasa? Now that tumebase kwamba this is not this way, inafaa kufanyika nini aje?
And let me surprise you, Samuel. Do you see how Kibe can look at a couple going for marriage and Kibe can tell this won't work. Now, let me surprise you. Pastors know marriages that don't work. But because they don't want to call them out and tell these guys, I'm happy you guys think you want to get married, but let me give you the laydown and show you why you are not ready to get married. So that's the reason there's a very high divorce rate, because we are having people who are not ready to be in a union, Solomonizing that union that should not have happened in the first place. because they were not ready for it. Kibe, am I making some sense to you? Kuna ka desperation ka kupewa sema pete. I think so.
Umepotea kidogo, wacha nikurudishe.
Okay?
Hebu nilete home Kibe, but you get the point of what I'm saying.
So you see, for a man, once a man has a desire for a woman, then he's lost. That desire is what keeps you a slave. So a man should not have those desires for women, because that desire to a point where you're willing to go and sign on a dotted line, don't you think that's madness? It has no business value to you, and you do it. That desire is what makes you mad. Because how are you going to, you as a rich man, you go and take somebody from Islas. You take somebody and tell them, come here, and now you can share half of what I've made. How does that make sense? It's not good business, isn't it? Is it? But the rich people in this world have been showing us how they do it. You go to the Saudi Arabia, those guys are not going to allow you to touch their women, even with a 10-foot pole. They don't play around, bro. Then they know it's full business. We want kids who look like this. We want kids with this type of intelligence. And we want kids we can manage. It's not at random the way people are walking in the street. You see a woman, you like her, you walk up to her, and 2 months down the road, you guys are married. Why? You guys need to be arrested. You're taking too much resource from the society. Mumbi, just jump in here.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, use good. Use good.
Oh, you're good. My first, so you asked the purpose.
Wait, where's your mind? Where's your mind? What's the purpose of marriage today? Why are people still insisting on this useless institution?
This useless institution is purposeful because its purpose is to uphold this family unit, institutional values of this family unit. You know, the marriage needs to, a family unit comes with its values that we know. And now these values, we later see it later after somebody has just grown. That's why you know the value of how the family has been growing. That's why we come and say traumas and all those things and that. Because family unit, depending on the unit, you are
Mombi, don't you mean the strength of the man? Forget about the family unit. Don't you mean the strength of the man? If the man is strong, then the family is going to be strong, isn't it?
If the man is what?
If the man is strong, then the family is going to be strong, isn't it?
Yes.
The man cannot be strong and his family is weak.
He's the head of the family. So if he's a strong man, the family is going to thrive even more. But this institution in itself, even actually what brings the institutions in itself and shows you're an institution is the certificate. So if you're not with that certificate, then whatever you are there, you're just on probation. Both of you are just probation, because at one time when you're feeling the marriage is not working, you just can wake up one day and decide, you know what, this did not work and it is okay, see you, let's just move. But
Mombi, you're getting kids. You cannot say probation that casually and see your probation. Are you auditioning for the government or?
I am saying if you don't have that certificate or a marriage certificate, you know, we are speaking about this marriage. So now with time, the way Samuel is saying now, bring it together. Right now, as we are saying, we are redefining what marriage is. And now what marriage is in literal sense, what are we redefining it from? Because the question actually should be, what is the marking scheme of knowing what marriage is? Where is the marking scheme? Who tells us that this marriage is like this or like this? It is because it is written. And where is it written? We will go and see where it's written. In whatever institution, in whatever, depending on the institution in which it is written, there is somewhere we are redefining it from. And the redefining right now is from, we are growing from a technological time, things are changing, modernization, civilization, there's a lot of things involved in this defining of marriage. But you cannot change the initial stamp of what marriage is. As you've said, from Kitambo, it was to keep the clan. It's just that language changes. But it is to keep this family unit one. There's a head of the family. There's the other supporter who brings The woman who brings the nurturing, the growing, the everything that she comes with, she adds the
Yeah, but
strength. She has to add that strength.
Mombi. Don't give us the textbook version of it. That's the textbook version. That's what everybody has in their imagination. On the ground, things are very different. These
Now, on the
marriages, people are
ground-
cheating. These marriages are producing homosexuals, murderers, prostitutes, lesbians.
You see,
So these
now,
marriages are the problem.
Now, you see, on the ground, however you choose to sign with your person, you've gotten into something. So maybe you'd say me, this is how I've had Better Kenya before my internet, before the connection cut. The way you choose to define in us, we live in an open marriage, and you will do whatever sort of things you want. And then there's another one in another institution who will say, us, we just want to live in this textbook. This textbook is what we want to follow, the constitution of the textbook. And then there are others who, when they accumulate health and they sign these prenups and, they are securing finances, depending on the level in which you want to operate this institution on. But the thing is, are you going to persevere each other, and are you going to uphold that tightness that no matter what, these differences that are outside this institution, will you bear it?
Mombi, again, you're still talking about the ideal. We're saying right now, the results, we have the results. The results are in. The marriages are not working. Okay? So we need to even ask the question, is marriage really necessary? Forget redefining what marriage is.
Yeah,
we ask the question, hold up. You can even mute your mic for a second. Let me ask the question properly so it can sink in. Okay? So we can take a step back, because is marriage doing more harm than good? So we just be very honest. Let's all be completely honest and say, is marriage doing more harm than good? And if you look, hold up, I don't, hold up, Anthony. So we ask the question. Ask the question, is marriage doing more harm than good? So you look at now we take all the marriages and say, okay, let's look at Kiambu County. If marriage was such a popular thing, then we would not have 25% of all the women in Kiambu County being single mothers. Okay? We would not have a declining population, because if marriage is good, then it should be able to sell itself. It means that marriage is not good, people are running away from it. Why? Where have we gone wrong? Was it a good thing to begin with? Because we cannot insist people to go into this institution, yet right now, the way it's set up, it's not benefiting the man. Right now, if something was bad for the women, it would be bad for the society. Why aren't we being honest about that? We all agreed that FGM was bad for the society. We changed that shit. Everywhere we find FGM, we change it. We do whatever it takes to change that situation for the women, because we know it's something uncomfortable for them. So if right now we are looking, and man, every time you look at a man when he's walking away from his divorce, he's looking worse than he went in. And this new generation is telling you, hey, wait a minute, us guys are not going to get married because we saw what happened with you guys. At least they're being honest. So why can't we have that conversation and say, is marriage really necessary? In fact, it's probably, we should probably be marketing against it now. You see the way it was marketed, the way they had the wedding show. We need to have the anti-wedding show. Yeah. So every Sunday at 6 p.m., you see me sitting with Ndovukali and Mnyamwezi somewhere, single men, and then there'll be 3 women in the beach wearing bikinis, very nice body, very nice, small, the way we like them, running, and we are sipping on some nice whiskey, smoking on some cigars, and then we turn to the camera and say,
you're going into your imagination.
Do not get married. And then we puff, and then it's an infomercial. Anti-marriage. If they can market trust condoms. Sembuse anti-marriage yangu. Hey. Betakenya buruka hapa. Hold up.
Kibe. I have
Ngoja. Oh, have you said anything since you came?
You gave me the mic, then I talked for 20 seconds, you took it again. I didn't even
Let me give you the mic again officially. World of investigation because of your crying. You see how crying can help in this society. We're a society of victims. So we have felt your victimhood. Take your minute.
Okay. The simplest analogy of a marriage is a donkey with a cat. A donkey with a cat. That is the simplest layman. Everyone can understand. In the village, in the city, everyone can understand a donkey and its cat. So a marriage is like that. The head represents the man. The cat represents the woman. If you are able to argue from that point of view, then you will understand what marriage is. Because wewe sijui unasema ati by the way, are we talking about marriage of two people? Are we talking about the African setup? Yeah, if it was marriage in Africa setup, I have 6 wives. Why would I go cheat? Venye tu nasema ati wenye wameoa ndo wana cheat. If it was African setup, why would I go cheat with 6 wives? No. Then unaanza kusema ati marriage is producing gays, what? Why are you not saying marriage is producing engineers and what? You are making marriage, every time you are talking about marriage, you are putting negative side of it. But this is my point. When a donkey is alone.
So what are the positive sides of marriage?
Okay,
you
come
here and put your argument across. Yeah, don't cry about mine. Put yours across.
Okay, when the donkey is alone, okay, it can just carry six mitungis. But when you had the cat, of course the cat, kuna mwingine alikuwa anasema ati women are lazy or something, but it is the man who redefines, who gives them woman the purpose. You get? So when you add the cat to the donkey carries even more weight. Easily kwanza.
Let's talk about real life. Leave that donkey analogy alone. Let's talk about real life because it doesn't make sense in real life. In real life.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
In real life,
the man is a slave to the woman. So in 2024, married people, 99.9% of them, the man is a slave to the woman. So give me a real life situation, maybe like yours. You tell me in my home, I am the beast.
What are you talking about beast here? Beast ni kuwa mkali kuuma na meno ama beast how? What is the beast? I want to understand the beast side.
So that's the thing. You don't even know what a beast is since you got married.
Masculinity or something. Masculinity.
Because for you a beast is an animal that is devourers. It's coming to devour. Yeah.
Okay, masculinity.
It's not needed. As a married man, hold up. As a married man, you don't need to be masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. Once you become a man, you become feminine. That's why men get boobs.
There is no way. Even Samson, when he was alone,
you even have a higher level of what are these ones for women? What are they called? Mombi zinaitwaje zile za wanawake?
Hormones.
Zinaitwaje endorphins?
Kitu kama hiyo.
So you find that married men, the longer you are, the smaller your dick gets. And then the more you start to behave like a woman.
Why do you need a big dick, Kibe? Why do you need a big dick?
You see, even the women behind you are laughing at you. They're saying this guy is stupid. He's a stupid guy. Doesn't know what he's saying. Stupid argument.
Okay, I'm trying to get you.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense. No, I'm not going to go down a nonsense road with you, bro. I'm not going to go. If you're going to have a conversation, let's have a good conversation.
You're 2 seconds around. Then you brought the dick thing in the mic.
Anthony, and learn to mute your mic, Anthony. You interrupt a lot. I don't know why you do that, Anthony. Hold up. Let's finish with this guy. Anthony, married men, you cannot trust them. You cannot. You cannot even trust him to mute his mic. Because now emotionally he has to defend his position. His wife is probably prodding him. Hey, Anthony. Oh, Anthony, don't let him say those things. Well, even this guy, hold up. While the investigation, hold up. I'm on Anthony's case now. Can you give me a fucking second here? So Anthony and Abdul Rahman here, they have been sent by their wives. Hey, don't let him continue talking like, like that. Even Ali is here. Let me bring Ali just so that you understand how bad this shit is. Okay? So once you become a married man, you do not need to be masculine. It's not necessary. Because a masculine man cannot stay with a woman in the same house for too long. His masculine nature is going to devour her. He can't. A man is supposed to be out there being an animal. He comes back in, he enjoys the woman for the time that he has her, and then he's out again to go be with somebody else, and he can be with anyone he wants to be with. The word cheating does not exist to a man. So you guys have been put on the back foot with this big word called cheating in marriage, because now she's holding that shit over your head. So even every time you chew her down and you see the house girl passing, oh, you're a cheater. Imagine living like that. In your head, it must be madness. Okay, let's bring back everybody now that Anthony has. So while of investigation, I took the mic away from you again.
Okay, Kibe, I want you to argue from this perspective then, Kibe. Okay, argue your point of married men in a polygamous setup. Now, not with a single woman. Now, argue your point of a married man with 6 women. Argue your point. Go on now.
So has he gotten the women? Hey, relax, my guy. Can't unmute my mic now. So he's polygamous because of the society, or he's polygamous because he just wants to be?
I want you to argue your point. There is a man here. You are there, and you have 6 wives. Now argue that. Bring your point with yourself with 6 wives.
Why would I have 6 wives?
Don't put yourself with 1 wife because you are an African.
I mean, yeah, so why would I have 6 wives? Because you, in your head, you're assuming that the moment you have 6 wives, those wives will be able to satisfy you sexually to a point where you will never cheat again. That's what you said earlier. No, so in your head, in your puny head. So let me ask you right now, how many women have you? Hold up. Listen to the questions. Is your body count over 10?
My body count.
Is it over 10?
1.
You see why I can't talk to you?
Why can't you talk to me? Because you think.
See why I can't talk to you? You see why? You see, I told you, your wife has her hand so far up your ass that you can't even be honest. So you're just here wasting my time with these stupid arguments. That's why you say that big dick is not necessary. Where did you ever hear any conversation like that? Which men have ever sat down in any society, anywhere, one day and decided, oh, you know what? A big dick is not necessary. So what we shall do, we shall now invent a pill to reduce the size of the dick. So I ask you, what is your body count? 1. You can hear the kid crying in the background. Who do you think is holding the kid? Waste of my fucking time. I wasted my time with you. I'd rather listen to this other idiot called Abdul Rahman. Go ahead, Abdul Rahman. Come and waste my time again with how marriage is the most wonderful thing.
No, I'm not bringing none of that. But I want to talk to men here that are listening to toxic content. You see, when you reach a certain age that I cannot define for you, because it is a definition that is brought about by your mental maturity, your material preparedness, and that feeling that you are become a man. When you get to that level, you're faced with 2 options. Number 1, you have the option of you face decline of civilization, or you face patriarchy. The phase of decline is where you continue mastering your craft, You continue excelling in your area of maybe sports, career, creativity, business, and all that. And you pursue that with one spirit, without any compromise, without the risk of losing any percentage of your wealth. And you form friendship, male friendships like has been described of Nyamwezi, Pangakali, and Kibe. And those packs are called rat packs because they're there to emotionally support each other and tell us, we did our best, we chose, made our best decision and all that. The other choice that faces you is for you to become a patriarch, to continue human civilization, that someday you will become a family patriarch. And you face it by way of marriage, you face it by having a female, by compromising your freedom, having the risk that someday you lose 50% of your wealth through divorce, assuming that you had created any wealth before you got married. That's why I said I cannot define the best appropriate age for you to be married. So once this reality faces you, it's up to you as a male to choose whether you want to compromise your freedom, a 50% chance of losing your wealth, having to go through nagging. Who are you with? What are you doing? What time will you be home? And some of those are uncomfortable for males that choose the other path that I told you, because it's a why. You're traveling a road, now you've been alone. Now you have faced a why sort of a road. You have to go left, you go through the rat pack, of which I didn't say the risk of it is you're going to be lonely and old and disturbing strangers online like Kibe does, because he has no company, he has no one to in his old age to look after him and talk to him and give him company. Or you have and the most likely place for them is a geriatric old homes for the old and all that. Or you have to face patriarchy, in which now you compromise and you're assured of someday you have you have people to take you in your old age. All the routes that you pick have their challenges. You pick have your challenges, especially marriage. It has every challenge when you have to take in someone in your space, compromise you give it your all, and there is also a chance of it failing, a 50% chance that you might fail and go through divorce. Now, I cannot finish by not saying by refusal to say this. That the person that you choose to be your partner is one of the most important decisions that you have to make.
Stop giving us a lecture. Who did you choose? Tell us about your marriage. Stop wasting our time with this lecture. We've had everything you've said. We can Google. Give us something personal, something we know we can know about you. You say, I Abdul, because I'm a super intelligent human being, and I know how to put words together very well. I went out into the streets and I picked this woman, and this woman has made me happy, and she's my first wife. I intend to have 5 because this is my plan. Don't come and give us a lecture about what men and women who marry or don't marry, what they do. Tell us about your life and say, this is what I have achieved. But if you've achieved nothing, then shut the fuck up. How long have you been in marriage?
I am talking to you, gentlemen.
How long have you been in marriage, Abdul?
It matters less, but the preparedness has taken years.
It does matter. So how long have you been in marriage?
I started practicing behaving, living as a married man.
How long have you been in marriage, Abdul Rahman?
But since I was born, I started acting like a married man.
Abdul Rahman, how long have you been in marriage?
All my life, I've practiced to live like a married man.
See, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you can see when you push these married men, kidogo, they become liars immediately. I don't even have to be sleeping with him for him to lie to me. Imagine. Let me go to a woman who might help. Better Kenya, save me from these useless married men. I'm so tired. I even need a drink and a very strong whatever. Go ahead, Better Kenya. Save me. Is it just me?
No, I also can't hear her.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, Femi might have something. I don't know. I can feel Femi's vibe. Femi, I don't know which side you're on, but
You had muted the mics.
oh, okay. Go
Femi.
Go ahead.
Andrew.
Femi, wait. Hold up. So let's go back to Better Kenya. Then Femi will come to you.
You know, I'm laughing because there's somehow these married men, kuna vile wanaongea very cautiously. Yani, they don't have the right to speech. Wakienda kuongea lazima waconsider, will this be taken out of proportion in my own house? Yani, they can't speak freely. They can't even speak their own minds. Kwanza kama dude, come on. Say things with your heart. You are a guy. You are a man. You know, men should speak with their chest out. Sasa hawa wanaongea ni kama like, you see how kids are around their moms. They have to be very cautious. They have to lie. Juu wakiongea ukweli watachapwa. No, these married guys in this space, they're behaving that way. And they have to look at whatever it is that they're saying next. They can't speak any freely. What's the point of marrying someone, bringing in a woman in your own house, but not having the freedom to do whatever the fuck as a man you want to do? Because, you know, I believe men are supposed to be, you know, the head. But it's like when they get married, they are turned into the neck. Sasa hawezi ongea juu. Lazima waseme kenye kitaendana na bibi, kulingana na vile bibi ameamua, hivyo ndo wataishi. Like, come on. You're the guy, you're the provider, you're the one. You're supposed to have the big dick. You know, like huwa jamaa alikuwa anasema you don't need a big dick. It's not necessarily the whip itself. It's being masculine. You're a man. Kuwa na sauti.
But Better Kenya, now you aren't you agreeing with what I said? That there are 3 categories of men. So you are actually defining a category of a man. So you agree that man exists?
Which man?
The one you are defining, the head, the leader.
Yes, but not in the, but not the married men. You stop men. And you start.
But didn't I just say those? Didn't I just tell you? Actually, when you contributed, I said there are 3 types of men in marriages. You had defined the first 2, the weak ones and the confused ones. Then I told you there is a category of men who are married. They are the minority who actually lead their wives, who actually, you know, have taken charge, not in a forceful way, but in a way that woman says, I can relate to this, and I'm okay with this. You see, men are not looking to compete with women. You know, kuna venye mna define marriage ni kushindana. Sijui nani amekelea mwingine nani yako juu.
Ukipata dema kuwe amekukeep kwa kichwa, you can't do anything. Muna behave ni kama madem ni easy just go lead them. These ladies are hard to lead them.
And I agree with you, bro.
Usually these women, check it. Kitio fanyika na madem. She'll front a profile that you like, and then ukioana kidogo na change your profile. Sema kama ulikuwa outgoing kidogo na kuja nasema mimi ni mtu wa church. So the moment I can do that, you're not compatible. Because you wanted this lady and then she's serving you these. So that's what was happening with these people.
With the majority,
you end up, you end up chasing this facade of a woman that you didn't like, but she served you unconditionally. But more people don't see that. Just because you like this lady unampenda, and then you take all the nonsense. The moment I may change to even one thing is the moment you leave. But most people don't leave. Most people are not trained to leave.
So Panga Kali.
No, guys, can we let Better Kenya finish her thought process? Then we probably can come in it, because I feel like we completely disrupting. I'm sorry I'm not the host anyway, but I just felt like she was making a point, and then we interrupted to engage her, and then now we're completely switching into a totally different conversation. I apologize for that intervention.
You see, most married men, when they are walking into marriage, they in charge. But once they are married in the marriage, they turn into something else. Juu utapata, a guy is out with his friends. He's having a good time. Wacha tu simu ipigwe na ni bibi anapiga. He wants to run out of that place. Juu anajua in the next 31 hour, kelele itaanza. Why can't you just stay there, enjoy your drink, switch off your phone if you have to, and then now go home and deal with your situation? Why allow a woman to switch your emotions? Like ni kama ka switch to evil. Like you are having a good time, the next time you are not having a good time. Why can't you speak for yourself boldly without caring about this woman's feelings? Juu unaona, as a man, you're supposed to be in charge of your emotions. You're supposed to be in charge of the house. The woman should not be telling you, usikunywe. No, you should be the one telling her, leo naenda kukunywa, naeza kuja kesho ama nikose. You should be in charge. Because in as much as you're married and you're respecting her, she should also, okay, yeye anafaa tu kuwa chini yako. She should also respect and be okay with whatever it is that you're working towards. Ukisikia kuleta bibi wa pili, unaleta. But the men marrying these days, they don't have that voice. Hata ukitextiwa tu na kadem hivi, lazima ikuwe ni chini ya maji. Like, why are you being fearful in your own house? Like, it's your house. Why are you not in charge of your own house? Why, as a married guy, do you have to watch your words? Because a woman, one woman, hata si wawili, mmoja tu atakasirishwa na chenye unasema. Like, what is marriage? It have lost its sense. And you men have allowed yourselves to be treated as second. You have allowed yourself to bow down to a woman. You have allowed yourselves as men to be told what to do in your own house. Like, you've become voiceless in your own house. And in as much as we want to be married as women, we want to be married to men that are in charge. Because the moment you lose that, I can now puppet you around the house, I'll go cheat on you. While you're at work, I'll go cheat on you with a man that makes me feel like a woman. Because you're making me feel like the man of the house. So kunao wanaume wawili wametoka, I think wametoka space. They're being bitches. In, like, you're a man. Chances are their wives are cheating with men who are manly. Juu hata kwa space na bibia hata hawako kwa space. Wanaogopa kuongea. Yani wamewekwa uoga kabisa. So, in as much as people want to be married and be men, continue being men in the marriage. Take charge. If you cannot, then leave the marriage. Mwache kukaliwa bwana.
I would have thought by now, JM, you would have jumped in.
Well, no, sorry. I wanted to jump in, but I knew I wasn't the host or co-host, but I thought at some point we were trying to cut what Vera Kenya was sharing, which I thought that we should have listened to, and she's made very strong points in terms of marriage, kwaja kukaliwa and all that. I have taken so much notes because I was here from the beginning, and I thought there's been significant submissions about this concept of marriage and married men and single men. Are there things that Kibe? I think at some point, maybe after 4 months, I'll start taking my friend Kibe. The way people say my friend, so that people can listen to you. So I'll start saying my friend Kibe. I think I disagree with you on a few points. And especially the ones that you made in relation to, married people produce homosexuals, lesbians, and everything. Okay, that was a dangerous statement. You have to go back and review that because that really rattled me in a way. But because I was taking notes and I was trying to be patient, we'll come back to that. But to what Vera Kenya has shared, I think
Really... JM, we can actually explore it right now.
You want us to explore that? Okay. Let's go for it. And again, and I'm okay. I'll be disciplined. When I choose to be disciplined, I'm disciplined. So let's explore that. That statement, this is how you made it. And I was taking notes, by the way, because today I was like, you know what? This is a heavy topic that has a far-reaching implication. It's not just just a conversation. This is really a revolution in terms of marriage and married men, which maybe Anthony and I have been bashed so much because you married men are like this. You actually made this. Can I go back to what you said? Can I go back to what you said?
Okay. Yeah, give us the statement.
You talked about, I should have so much notes today, but it was in the context of marriages produce homosexuals, lesbians, prostitutes. In fact, you even say that. And I was like, okay, are you like saying it for the sake of argument? Or is it true that marriages have produced this? That I got lost. Where are we coming from with this?
Have you seen the children of poor people?
I have, because I've worked with men backgrounds and all that. The answer is yes, just without explaining.
I mean, that should be self-explanatory.
Right.
I mean, it's obvious that marriages are going to produce, and especially poor men who decide to get children, poor men, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Poor men who are emotional about what marriage is, and when they go and they start a family and they are still poor and they remain poor and they live poorly, then their kids are going to be prostitutes, thugs, and everything. Chances are high.
No.
If you want
no. Can we start with the homosexuals and lesbians? Start with the homosexuals
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. So chances are high that everything that the society, that these people who are in this type of setting will go against everything the society stands for. Everything. So none of these things exist in other places. They only exist when these two people come together and produce a child.
Married people or poor people? Because now you're talking about, have you ever gone to sing about poor people? So is it poverty that produced that, or is it marriage? I'm confused. So that's the line of thought.
So now we were on criminals and prostitutes, okay? So criminals and prostitutes are going to come from where? Are going to come from the poor people. Now on the other side, the rich people or the middle class people like you are going to produce homosexuals, lesbians, and all these LGBTQ that we're seeing out here in the world today.
Okay, my brother, you're going to get in trouble.
And then
I'm telling you, you are very well traveled and exposed. So you are talking about.
Let me finish the point. Hold up, Pastor. Let me finish the point so that I get in more trouble. I don't want to get in little trouble. I want to get in a lot of trouble. And now you find that the worst of the worst of the worst things happen to the children of the people who are spreading the gospel. So there's a record of that. That's why these kids completely go against whatever the father is preaching, because their father is a liar. They've seen him lying. So these kids are being produced in these houses. They're coming out. So when today you go to a place like Kayole, you'll not see homosexuals there. It will be very hard for you to see homosexuals there. But you go to Village Market, every other shop that you walk into, you will find them there. True or not true?
Not true, because when you were making the statements, I was actually looking into your statement to make sure that if it's really, it matches with what the research, oh gosh, my accent is betraying me. What research shows in terms of, no, sorry about that. I really get wrong all the time when I'm trying to really get animated and get emotional. My point is like, I don't think this is tied to whether people are married or who are religious and all that. I think it's like maybe a subjective data that we're trying to use. The point I'm trying to arrive at is that you made, this is how you said it, by the way. that you married people produce. I go back to it.
In
Sorry,
droves, in droves, you're producing. Okay, just mute your mic. Let me explain the point properly. Right, as George would say, catch a bubble. So the marriage that is there right now, I asked earlier the question, what purpose does it serve? And nobody was able to give me an answer direct because it serves no purpose right now. But
no, I'll give an answer.
Hold up, JM, hold up. Let me finish the point. I'll give you the mic. So I asked, what purpose does it serve? Because those days it used to serve a purpose where the marriage was protected. But right now the marriage is not protected. So it serves no purpose because right now if the woman gets the law in her favor, then she can destroy the man. And we are seeing this with America and all these other developed countries. So where marriage works is where the society is still involved in marriages, where the woman can still be not only answerable to her husband, but to her father. Because her father is the one who can kill her, not her husband. She fears her father more than she fears her husband. Now, if there is no father in the mix, or if that father is weak, and is coming from a society like this one that we have created for ourselves now, which is producing homosexuals, thieves, and prostitutes, then the marriage is doing more harm than good. Because the only way a man can survive in a marriage in 2024 is first he has to submit his will to the woman. He has to completely let the woman lead. If he doesn't do that, the society cannot allow him to be a married man. That's why they have to have prenups. Because if this man wants the love of a woman and he knows that she's going to turn on him one day, they're going to have to sign somewhere. So he knows his weakness is pulling him into this relationship, but he's hoping that if this prenup will save him, because he knows what it does, what a marriage does to a man without a prenup, especially if he has something to lose. So this is just the reality on the ground. So why do you think these kids are going against their parents? They're going against their parents because they have seen that their parents are liars. Their parents have been faking the whole time. Kingston, mute your mic. Kingston. Yeah. So marriage, as is constituted, is producing the worst of the worst people. And we need to take a step back from this shit and ask, hey, what are we doing with this thing? Why are people running to singlehood once they get into marriage? Why are women killing their husbands? I mean, why are we pretending like this shit doesn't happen? Women are killing their husbands. There are reports every day of women killing their husbands, husbands killing their men. He's become so emotional to a point where he argues and goes to a point where he kills his woman. And the woman, on the other hand, because she wants the property that she found this guy with, now she's going to be killing him slowly, poisoning his food every day. These are the realities on the ground. So if this thing was such a good thing, then it would be able to sell itself and there would be no argument. The argument exists because there are doubts. And the research is telling us what you guys are saying is a lie. So if you have a good marriage, then you probably wouldn't be listening to us. There would be we would not even skizana even for a second.
Okay, seriously. Yeah. You really. Okay, let me give you maybe one reality check in 1 minute. Number one, in my own estimate and assessment, your argument comes from a worldview that is more Western, heterosexual, one man, one woman argument. Let's begin with that, please, without any other sexual orientation. Because I've listened to this, by the way, and you refused, you actually declined some other guy, I don't know, he's probably gone right now, who tried to bring in a concept of what happens to our the worldview that let's talk about the Islamic faith, which I've been privileged to study, that talks about, like, unless if you are able to support up to the 4 wives, and I wish Abdul could confirm that you're able to that, but you shut that person up, and I was like careful to listen to that, but you. And then the other person just mentioned something about a sexual orientation. And I didn't
No,
think you were
JM,
very
you have to be
comfortable.
factual. JM, you have to be factual because I shut Abdul up because when
not Abdul,
I
not
let
Abdul,
I
was someone else. No, Abdul, I understood where you shut Abdul up. I will shut him up on the time. He knows. No, it was someone else. There was someone else
and
who
then the other guy, the other guy, I also shut him up because when I asked him what his body count was, he said one.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. Now that
yeah, and I was like, why do men lie like this? Because you could hear his kid in the background.
Yeah, that was a joke.
And if his kid is in the background, then his wife is there, so he cannot say anything the wife doesn't want to hear. Because if he says more than one, he has to explain to her because he's not in charge.
Who is that? Who is the other person? Yeah, that's a joke. I mean, okay. Now that I got it. Okay, let me just because I know there's so many people want to talk. My point is this.
Let's give Femi a chance. Even you, JM, you can speak forever. There's no point you're going to add to that. Just hold on. In fact, let me and you mute.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let me jump in here, as we've talked for too long.
Kibe.
I hear you.
Do you know, no matter how much you try to tell these people about the marriage, that the system and the society have to accept and change, they will not hear it. The religion and marriage, they are cults. Let's start there. If you are not in it, you are evil. If you are in it, you should stay with these conditions. If you try to go against those conditions, yours is not working. You should go towards this. How did we get there? Through the religion. Is religion not a cult? If you're worshiping, I've never had someone criticizing someone who is in PCA, in Catholic, in any other church, but they will criticize the atheist and humanist who do not want to associate with this. The same thing in marriage. They will keep recruiting for misery. If it is so good, why is it being marketed? Should we be seeing and observing it from a distance and saying, I want to be in it because I'm seeing the benefit in it? The same reason we have the Gen Z revolting. The leadership has changed and people don't want to accept that. They have watched the leadership that we have had before and they are tired of it. They have watched what the marriage is bringing on the table and they are tired of it. They want to change it. And that is why you find some of these Gen Zs are very okay in their friends gay and not gay, and others being in a different engagement. I would like to point out about what you said about you find prostitutes coming from the ghetto and gay coming out from the middle class. The reason is the middle class child is no longer engaging in finding food. He's there to seek entertainment. The child from the ghetto is done to prostitution because he's not yet, the stomach is empty, so he's going to the street to find the food. So when will he be able to engage and know the difference between taste of different sexuality? People need to come up with better solution if they want this marriage to coexist, to continue coexisting within our society. Either the society changes or people move away from this thing.
How is this a problem of marriage?
Come again?
How is this the problem of marriage? Because you cited two specific cases of the ones coming from the ghetto, the ones coming from the middle class, this was the one. How is this the problem of marriage? I'm confused about the premise here.
Is marriage not producing these children who are going to engage in either activity?
But Femi, children are not produced in marriages alone.
If I'm not in marriage, listen, if I'm not in marriage as a woman and I decide to get pregnant and I decide to seek medicine to get pregnant, do you think the amount of money that I'm paying to get that, I'll not be able to sustain my child to be able to engage in other activities other than going to the street? We need to accept the value in this marriage has changed. And that's why you find a number of people are going to partnership rather than in marriage. And in partnership, someone said it's about cheating. Some people don't even think about this sex as much as we want to say it is there.
So Femi, let me ask.
Marriage is about your own. Pardon?
I wanted to ask, what is wrong? Are you saying marriage is wrong or the ideology behind the marriage is wrong?
the first marriage ideology has changed, and people don't, I'm not saying it is wrong. Probably your ideology of now, what marriage is offering you, it's good for you. But majority who are saying no to it, they agree that it's whatever the ideology is being sold is not good for them.
That you need to get out.
Okay, Femi Kidogo, Femi is raising a point I've had now very many times. Femi, are you a Gen Z or a millennial?
Do I need to be in a generation?
No, you know why I'm asking that?
This?
Because I was in another platform. I think we were with JM and Samuel, and a Gen Z said the same things you're saying. He said one of the reasons we are this broken is because the first place that failed us was home. To grow with single man. That's the reason I've asked that question, respectfully. Because umesema tu kitu mtu nilikuwa nimesikia.
I'm listening to them. People are not listening to them. The society has a fucked up way of thinking that people have to die for them to start reasoning, which is not ideally. It's ideally wrong. People don't have to die for them to start changing their ways.
Okay, so
right now, you want to tell me the government cannot pull back and just give them some voice?
The government is not a solution for everything.
I'm not saying who is the society?
Yeah, some things you gotta think for yourself.
Are we not the government? Are we not the society?
Some things you gotta think for yourself.
Huh? You and me. And what makes up the society? Is it not you and me?
So, Femi, let me ask.
The society defines the law that we live under. So you cannot go away from this. They govern us. How do they govern us? By looking at what we want and implementing it.
So, Femi, my last question is, do you believe society is breaking down the way it's breaking down because it stems from a broken home? So, inakuja tu cascade juu.
The society is not breaking up. Some people, a minority, are fighting it to break the chain of what the society has. And that minority is Akina Kibe, Akina Pakakali.
What the fuck?
They are saying, if I'm going to this and you want me to go to this, it's time you change this to be able to accommodate me in it.
All right, and Dukibe, before I really take a nap, I know there's so many people who need to contribute. I'm gonna do a 30 minutes challenge. I don't have so much time. Kibe, I have a 30 minutes challenge that anybody that's gonna contribute to support your movement and the work that you're doing, which we all appreciate, by the way. My team is gonna match that up. So you give 100, you give 500, you give 1,000, whatever you give. For the next 30 minutes, my team is going to match that up for that. And I think that's going to be my final submission. But this is heavy conversation. I like when people really get into this depth. And this is really how we change the society. Because then we talk, we disagree, but respectfully do that. So, Andrew, if you can, or whatever your team, I know you have a big team, who's gonna share with the people in this team, 10 of them, but please, it's the only thing is restricted to up to 100,000. It's gonna be, I can't give more than that. So anyway, so if you guys can have like submission support, do this, let's help this movement because this is real deal. I just like, Andrew, Kib and I are on extremely opposite side of the universe, but I want to hear this more and more. So if you can share with the folks here on how they can support, and then we can have my Jem is on my team. My team is Golden Standard that I run, and we can support that. Thank you so much. And this is gold for the sake of it. So God bless. And I'll be watching. I'll be listening. Thanks. God bless.
So folks, Mumeskia, we have 100,000 to raise. There's 100,000 sitting in JM's pocket, and we can withdraw immediately. 100 of us give a G. Come on. Straight up. 100 of us, starting with Anthony. Anthony, James, Wasike, they already have 3 Gs. Pangakali, another maybe 5 Gs. Beta Kenya nayo kizungu yake haezi kosa thao. We're already there. Femi, with that intelligence. Thank you very much for that challenge. I appreciate it. James Murioki, jump in here. This is your moment. James
Can you hear
Murioki.
James?
No, he's not talking, man. All right, Wasike.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
So, first of all, Pangamkali, if I go wrong, correct me. There's something we talked somewhere in a group, and it was very categorical. You know, these people who are in the church always come out to tell people that marriage is a good thing. I don't know, there's companionship, there's something good in it. First, I'm not married, but this is what I've seen or observation I've made. Your woman only becomes your wife if there are kids there. Without kids in the equation, that woman is no longer your wife. So a woman becomes a wife only if she has given you kids. Without kids in the equation, she no longer qualifies to be your wife. She's just a stranger. And traditionally,
but Wasike, this is a traditional setup, right? The definition of tradition. Okay, I get you. Keep going.
And traditionally, these people used to believe a woman comes into the to the family for continuity of the legacy of the family to bear the kids. But for us who have been brainwashed with these ideas of the church and the people around us, telling us that marriage there is love, there's companionship, I don't know what. Now you pick your people are, let's say for me, my people are Western, but I come in Nairobi, pick a woman because I love the woman. And the church says, marry this woman, and they bring us together in a wedding. From the word go, the society is not aware of this woman. They don't know if this woman is good. They don't know if she has used the tools for long, their body is messed up. But for me, I say there's love. So the church is really messing up people. The thing is, that society which you used to have arranged marriages, whereby you go pick up a woman for your son. Tell your son that this is the woman I'm giving you, because you know very well this woman will come in that family purposely to give birth to kids. Understanding very well that this woman is a wife to your son only after children are there. Things to do with love, I don't know, these many things are just a waste of your time. Lastly, Kibe, you said something about lesbian and gays. They come from marriages. Mere observation. Look at these gays and lesbians. They cannot reproduce. So where are these people coming from? They are coming from the marriages and the people having sex, the male and female. Or is that not a normal observation you can make? Huh? Number two, lastly, this is the last point. When we come to marriages, the lady here said something that if the marriage is not working for you, you can leave. But leaving marriage only works for women. If a woman decides to leave the marriage right now, the society will be happy will be happy and tell her, Madam, you deserve the best. Go leave that marriage. There's greener pasture outside. But if the man decides to leave that same marriage, the woman will take the man to court, and the court will put this man on child support, I don't know, ex maintenance, wife maintenance, ex-wife maintenance, all this shit. So now it becomes a question. Why is it that when a woman decides to leave the marriage for her own good, but when a man decides to leave the marriage, it's not good. He has to be burdened forever. Thank you, guys.
James, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. and you guys are still talking about marriage. But I think this is one of those topics kama tu religion. Kuna wale wanafuata, kuna wale hawafuati. But kila mtu anaishi maisha tu. Watu abuse the institution. I think what has been sold to the people has been a lot of cosmetical marriages. Most people want to blame the institution than blaming themselves, because for marriage to work, you have to look inward. Like, I think marriage is a good thing. There's a growth that it gives you. If you allow it to become what it is, marriage is actually the best mirror ever. You learn so much about yourself. So you have to grow, and it's not easy. And that's what most people always run away from. Utakuta watu wengi wana run into kukunywa sana, ama some things to like wase utafuta escape badala ya kujiface. Lakini ukiingia kwa marriage unakuta unajiface. So bado unahepa hiyo marriage sababu venye tu hata ukiwa single wewe hepa yourself, ndio unajihepa tu ukiwa kwa hiyo marriage. So I think it's a good thing if you have the balls for it. If you don't have the balls for it, don't even try. But anyways, at the end of it all, kama tu religion. Chaguzi ni wako.
So, James, before you go, JM has given us, JM is a pastor, he runs several churches. He has given us a challenge. If we can raise 100,000, a maximum of 100,000, his church will donate to our cause 100,000. So I'm looking for you because I want you to put our Mchanga. Kibe has put his number. Good. So let's contribute to that number you're seeing there, the tip jar, and we do this. Where's Kibe? You know that, James, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sultan, I've been seeing here for a minute. Bring some contribution before I come back. Then we go to the husband.
Anthony, do you mind giving us the number we are contributing to?
The number is at on the Jumbotron. I don't know if you can be able to see it. After the Motivational Monday, Andrew Kibeja, you can see the number. Can you see the number?
What are Nisome Sultan? So for your contribution, send them to 0712 915936. 0712 915936. Sultan, the mic is yours.
Yeah, good morning, Anthony, Kibe, and the rest who are the podium. I've been here for a minute, and I've been listening to the space and the people who are so much against marriage. I've been pro-marriage for a long time in these spaces, and I've been bashed here several times, but it's understood where people are coming from. I've been around people who have been broken down with women, who have broken down their relationship due to their own less information, or coming from a background whereby they've just had this information on a negative side, whereby every time, every conversation you hear is about negativity. Marriage is not an easy thing, and I've never said that marriage is all bed of roses. It's something you really need to work on it. For anything to succeed in life, you really have to put an effort on it. It's not about me and you. It's not about me and the woman. It's about us moving this wheel together to a betterness of our family. Marriage institution is something which was instigated long time ago. There was a good reason why the marriage institution was advocated. It was a way of harmonizing a relationship of women. It was a way of bringing in a next generation in a modern society, or even if it's an older society, whereby these kids are taught manners, are taught how to live with other people, where that the information which is supposed to come out is supposed to come out from the two human beings who have produced a seed which is brought to this world, whereby it's supposed to coexist with other human beings. So we see a lot of this negativity because we forgot our roots. We forgot where we're coming from. We used somebody else's tradition by putting us in them, by saying that singlehood is the best solution, which is a lie. Singlehood has never been happiness. Singlehood has never produced anything concrete. And whoever tells you that singlehood is happiness, like Kibe is saying, I don't know about them, but it is just it's the same advocacy way it was just produced from the beginning, that marriage is a negative thing. So when you live with when you hear the same thing produced now and again, it ends up sounding as the truth. But initially, marriage is not the truth. We need to work. It's just like business. You see all the businesses which are successful, these people put an effort in it. They dedicated their time, they sacrificed their hours, they use other ideas, they research, and they made it work. So the people who will come out shout the most that business do not work are the lazy ones, are the ones who came in thinking that it's something that easy. I'll jump in, I'll start making profit overnight, I will buy big cars, I'll buy big mansionettes, you see, they come with big dreams, whereby they don't want to put the effort. It's the same way as marriage. You have to put the time, you have to put the sacrifice, you have to be there for them. And actually, in the relationship, in marriage, you really have to be there for it to be able to work. And you have to look.
So you have to. So Ali. So you have to stop being a man to be a husband. That's what you're saying.
No, you don't stop. No, you don't stop being a man.
Because being a man has all these things you're talking about. They don't exist in manhood. Because you have to be there for them. What are you talking about, my guy?
Kibe, for even a business, let's forget about marriage. Let's put up a business. You want to start a business. If Kibe, you are not there, you don't put the ideas, you don't put the effort, you don't invest, you don't put capital.
I agree with you. Every relationship, including yours and mine, because we talk on WhatsApp every now and then, will need work, right? Every relationship needs work. The same work you'd put into with your wife is the same work you'll put in with your daughter, same work you'll put in with your dog. So there's nothing new you're telling us. We're just saying that the results on the ground are not what you're saying, bro. So all this work that you're talking about doesn't make sense because we are seeing the men going into marriage, the way when they're coming out of marriage, there is no benefit to him. There's nothing he has added to this world. In fact, he's walking out of marriage worse than when he went in. So what's the benefit of this, of marriage? What's the benefit of marriage to the man in 2024? And don't tell me,
a very big benefit.
Don't tell me kids, because kids are not the responsibility of a marriage.
It is a responsibility. It is a responsibility.
And hold up, and hold up 1 second. I just wanted to mention the challenge, and people have already started sending M-Pesa. So JM, your challenge has been taken up by Rosaline10. Thank you, Rosaline. We got 500 bob. So we shall tally all that and see what you're going to send. And there's somebody who sent 1,000 bob from Premier Bank, Kenya. Doesn't say the name. It just says it's 1,000 bob sent. So those are the only two people who have sent so far. So we have 1,500.
The challenge with that is that we have 15 minutes, guys. Okay, this is the reason why we do this, because then Andrew continues to be as authentic as he is to move this forward. And I needed to make a simple correction on what Anthony said. This is not being contributed by the church. Please don't put him in trouble because then I'm gonna be fraught. So this is contributed by a different organization that I run as, but it's good for us to support an authentic conversation. And please, hata kama ni kidogo ile uko nayo, please submit something, share whatever it is, and then my prayer is that we can run these challenges maybe 2 times a week and all that to support whatever we can help. And thanks, Andrew, for sharing this. But I just want to be clear that no, this is not from the church. Please. Msiweke in trouble alafu nianze kufukuzwa. My point is that I just... Yeah. No, it's okay. I understood it, but I just want to make sure that, please, if we contribute 100,000 from our team here, which is how many people are we? We are over like okay, pamoja na wale wenye wanajificha, we are over, like we have been here over 1,000 people. Mtu akitoa kidogo, and then we also get like our team giving, if we do 100,000 from the group, and then we give 100,000 from the support, we need to raise 200,000 for this show. And then next time we do something, this is gonna give us authentic movement than Andrew anze kununuliwa. I'm just kidding. But anyways, thanks. And I just wanted to clarify something, because I know Anthony did not make that statement in bad faith, but he simply said it because he thought, no, I'm a pastor, but it is not coming from the church. I have other organizations. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you, Pastor JM, for setting the ball rolling. You know, it's very hard to sell yourself. So when somebody does it, I appreciate it. I mean, how else are we surviving? That's true. Pastors know how to get money from people. Look at this. There's Ivy Shelmith has sent 500 bob. Very nice. Thank you very much, Ivy. Sasape has also sent 1,000 bob. So that's 1,000 plus 1. So that's 3,000. So we have 3,000 large ones. Good one. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who, like now, Pangakali is called Ndovukali. He's looking for his M-Pesa phone under his truck.
By the way, I know the guy. I know the guy, if you didn't know that. So Pangakali, do 10K. I'll do 10K in return. So Pangakali, if you can hear me, do 10K, I'll do 10K. Go for it. Thanks, Andrew. Bye. I don't want to interrupt the show because this becomes disruptive, but I'll be quiet.
Hey, the disruptive. No. This is a moment. This is like when Pastor Nganga starts, he takes the guitar. This is the moment. Pangakali. All right, Femi, go ahead.
Kibe. Can I say something to JM?
Yeah, go ahead.
JM, I heard you're a church leader. Do you mind helping the movement through the church? Because as we all know, church is the biggest influencer in the world.
I told Andrew to come and speak to. We challenge each other. Back in the day, by the way, it's been. Unajua mimi nianza kuingia to Andrew Kibe's spaces. I was bashed. I almost got like at watu wa kanisa, the church people almost like completely like kicked me out. I'm like, I'm your pastor, so I'm trying to give you authentic, serious conversation. Yes, we'll get to the church to answer your question. And reason being having people that have on a different philosophical reasoning, but they're logical and respectful. I agree with that. And that's where I come from for the sake of it. So yes, we will get into this. But right now, my prayer and hope is that let this movement be empowered to make a difference. So that when it comes to the church, it's not like disrespectful. It's more of like, yes, think this way, logical, come out of this, whatever, you know what I mean? So yes, I'm willing to address that. But for now, please accept me as JM, not as a church. I don't know if that makes sense. So that we don't confuse the whole movement. I'm not coming in as a church. I'm coming in as a person who embraces this philosophical, deep argument, so that kila mtu anapewa chance ya kushare where you coming from. And Kibe knows about church more than I do, by the way, for the record, because I've studied it. Yeah.
I'm working with church and I have seen the power behind the church. And that is why I'm pushing to lean towards the church. I have over 2,000 church leaders contacts with me. And I have seen you guys, the influence and the power that you have. I would love to have something to work together towards this. We need a change, and the change has to come from there.
But
I understand you
you
want
have
to
to
work
get
as an individual, but I think we'll get to a place.
open-minded people to be able to listen to this school of
Yes,
thought.
they are very open-minded.
Yeah, because
They are
watu
very
wengine watasema tu ni
open-minded.
maombi tu na kila kitu in prayers, and then we lose the whole conversation. So for me, hata nime if you look at my messages, uko kwa Andrew Kibe's space. Oh my gosh, mimi hata nilikuwa nimefukuza, but because I'm independent, I've never earned from the church, by the way. Never been paid by the church for all the time I've worked. So that gives me independence of confessing. So we can do that, but let's hear what Kibe and Anthony are advocating so that we change the movement. Sio kama unanielewa. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you understand Swahili. But if you understand, you get my point?
Yes, I'm understanding you.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
So my point is simple.
But the people I'm telling you, we are working together. Get this, I'm a humanist and they are Christians and we are working together. So I think they are very open-minded. I'd love to include you in the list.
By all means.
So,
by all means.
Yes.
By all means.
I'll chat you in your inbox. Let's give Kibe and Anthony back their mic to be able to coordinate.
You see how me and Kibe are a democracy. We've allowed you and pastor, a humanist and a pastor, to have a conversation. Sultan, you were saying something, then you go to the husband.
Yeah, because we were having a disagreement with Kibe because he's expecting something good to come out of anything without putting the effort. And everything in life is about arrangement. Everything in life is about rules. Everything in life is about organization. If you don't have those three principles, then whatever you do in life, you'll never succeed. And that's what was my argument with Kibe. And people go into relationship hoping that this is a bed of roses. Once you are there, you just sit and wait for results to come without putting the effort. And that effort is essential to any human being in any relationship for anything to be successful. And I am really pro marriages. Why? Because I tell people go to relationship with a different perspective. If I go to that relationship hoping that I want it to work, I want to have kids, I want to make this person to be a better half of me, so that when whatever we do, we are not looking at each other as enemies. We are there to better our lives, so that this person is supposed to be my friend. He's supposed to be my right-hand person, that all decisions I make, it is supposed to come from both of us. I know I am the head, but for me to have an understanding with her, for us to live casually, cordially, for her input also.
But Ali, I'm struggling with what you're saying and the reality, because this is just a good game. But on the ground, this cordially doesn't exist, bro. People are taking each other out every day. So you guys are blinding yourself to the reality. And you're saying whatever I am seeing does not exist, but I want to talk about what I think should exist. Bro, do you know the rate of single motherhood? Do you know the rate of single motherhood in Kenya is the highest anywhere else in Africa?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, Kibe.
No,
everybody's journey is different.
No. Our society is broken, and we need to confront that. We need to confront why this is not working. Our society is completely broken, and instead of us confronting that, we're still pushing people to the same nonsense for them to go get destroyed. We're seeing men losing their masculinity every time they go in there because this system has been made to break them. But you don't want to see that. Ali, you see, Ali, hold up. Ali, you see, you are lucky. You came from the old system. So for you, it makes sense. For you, it makes sense because your wife still remembers what she was told by your dad. She still remembers what she was told by your mom. Your mom is still there to put her in check if her mom is not alive. So these people still exist. But now you release, if you allow a man and a woman to go out by themselves and go start a family, yet this man has not become a man yet, then that woman could destroy him. He could do the same to her. We have seen that. And now those people are afraid of, and those people now are afraid of being together. Okay, this is now where we are going. So I want you to understand that. because they're not seeing any security in what their parents are doing. So they are afraid of being together. So now the black woman is resisting the man. So the man is the most single he's ever been in all his life. In Kenya, everywhere else where there are black people. There have never been a time when there are more single people than today. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. Because
that tells you that the feedback they're getting on the street is what is keeping them single. Otherwise, we would all be running away from being single.
So but now, if something goes wrong, we always sit down and rewind, and if things were working some time back, what went wrong? So we sit down and restructure it and give it the new information where it's needed. We see where it needs to be removed and what needs to be removed and what needs to be implemented for something to work. So we cannot trust
exactly, Ali. Ali, that's where we are today. We are saying this thing is not working. So we have to ask ourselves, either we reconstitute this for the betterment of the society, or we let it implode or explode, and then we can now create something new, because we can decide this thing is not working completely. It has expired, just like the telephone booth. Maybe its time was there when there were no roads, there was no electricity. We had not built this world that we're seeing now. But right now, the woman rarely needs the man. She has 6, 7 men on her phone. So how is she going to have only one man in her life? She has 6, 7 men. There's a man who comes to fix her car. There's a man who comes to fix her water. Another one comes to fix her light. She can get a man to wash her clothes if she wants to. So there are men in her life that she doesn't need one man. So you go to interrupt her life right now. What do you think that is going to look like? Men are not surviving in this kind of relationships.
But now if we accept whatever is happening wrong and we sit back and lay back and say,
we're not accepting.
Wrong, let's raise our hands. We just forget about them.
No, Ali, we're not accepting. We're saying the society is getting broken. And so far, the first thing that we need to do is switch off the main pipe. And the main pipe that is causing all this problem is marriage in 2024. If you take away marriage, you've taken away so many problems from the man right now. So if that is...
No, Kibe, you cannot take away the marriage, Kibe. No, that's where we are going wrong, Kibe. If something is broken, we don't cut it. If a hand is dirty, we don't cut it. We clean it.
It's obsolete. It's obsolete. It is not necessary anymore. It's like having a Nokia 3310 right now. Do you think you'd look cool if you have a Nokia 3310 right now?
But you see, Sultan, marriage is not about being cool. Marriage
is about what?
As marriage is not about
there is no display of ego in 2024 more than a man going down on one knee to marry a woman. That is the highest display of ego. So this is not necessary. This is for you. It's a very personal thing. This is your ego at work. Yeah, your ego is one which wants kids. This is your madness on display.
But you see, Kibe, and I've been saying this from the beginning. There are marriages that work, and marriages work, like Sultan is saying. So if you want to put in the work, get married, because it builds a certain discipline in a person. Okay, so you can't go into marriage if
what discipline? What discipline does it build in you that you didn't have?
Let me give you marriage. Exactly, good Kibe. And I'll if you give me time, you see the way today I've been quiet.
No, just go to the discipline. Don't tell me about time. Just go.
Discipline.
What discipline?
Discipline is one thing. One, it gives you focus. That focus is a discipline by itself.
Nonsense.
Why is it nonsense?
If a man has no focus, he has no focus.
Tony, can you give me a second?
Yeah, sure.
If a man has no focus,
Kibe has no rattled me. Kibe has rattled my Nokia 3310. That's all I used to have, by the way, on a serious note. But guys, this is one thing that we are trying to do. And this is not something that Kibe does. It's something that is uncomfortable. But for us who buy into the mission and the vision and the work we are doing, we are asking you, ukiona pale juu imeandikwa Motivational Monday Andrew Kibe ja 0712915936. If you are, whatever amount you send, hata kama ni 100, 200, 300, we are going to match that. And this is for the purpose of pushing this conversation and movement iendelee mbele. So before we kind of close, si mtu ajaribu tu share something, like just send something in, and then okay.
Let me update kidogo. So 2 more have come in. Brian Omondi gave 500 bob. That's okay. My mathematics is on point. Edwin Musembi gave 1,500. So JM has been so gracious to us today. He said, whatever it is that we, and people are evil. Somebody has requested money from me. Yeah. While we're doing this, them they're requesting. Life is good, jolly, jolly. All right. So JM has been very gracious. He said, if we could raise 100,000 bob, he will match it. So we are on the road to 100,000.
So tufika, yeah, sasa, but there's a time limit. Nilikuwa nafikiria to by 6, but sasa najua kuna watu wengine wameingia saizi. We are giving an extra 15 minutes. If okay, Andrew is gonna bash me by saying by God's grace. Okay, so if you guys can do like in the next 15 minutes, if you can just add a little bit. You don't have to have much. Ni kidogo tu, and then we support. We will have another challenge. But the reason for this is to keep this movement authentic, and whoever comes along the way, itakuwa siku ingine. But for now, tafadhali, if you are able to share kidogo kama ndio umeingia, Andrew will explain to you how this works. So I probably have another 15 minutes.
Right. Anthony Mugo has sent 1,000 bob. Thank you, Anthony Mugo. Is Anthony, Anthony, is that your other name? See.
Yes.
At least, Mugo,
actually, it's 500 from me and 500 from my wife. You see how couples work.
I'm only a married man who would say that.
That's okay. He's trying to manipulate us into that movement of like conversation, like wife and husband. Anthony,
spoke like a truly sat-on man. He has to acknowledge his wife every step. Oh, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be here today. Hey, no wonder you use the word focus.
But no,
because for you, you are sick, and then your wife made you well. So your wife to you is Jesus. Even Ali is the same. You're sick people. Right now, your tumor is keeping you alive.
Let me tell you something, guys. We must believe that as much as we're in a messed up society right now, some of us do actually have marriages that work. It's not easy. We've deliberately chosen to work on it. The same way we are working on what JM is trying to make us do right now. We are trying to raise funds for a movement. Okay, for a cause. Marriage is a cause. It's a calling.
And then, let me tell you something. Andrew Kibe, because it's like a big week, wakati wa kwanza niliingia kwa space nikasema something about my wife. Shit. It went so bad. Yani, his team attacked me. They even have a video online attacking me. I'm not against what you're doing. I'm simply demonstrating. One day I said something, and Andrew Kibe can attest to this. I said that, okay, about protection. There was a question about protection. Okay, I didn't know about how to shoot guns. By the way, my wife has, owned guns and everything, and she does shoot it. And then they bashed me and like, oh, you're protected by a woman and everything. I'm like, I simply made a statement of facts. It wasn't about, oh my gosh. I was like, I will stay here until people understand who I am, because your people attacked me. Please, Andrew Kibe, I have to tell you, your people attacked me so bad. They made videos about they call me the evil person pastor from Ohio. Remember, I don't know if you remember that. I was being called the evil pastor from. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. But I was like, I know what this movement is about.
but Pastor, let's be honest. I have always given you a mic.
But what happened?
Yeah. So everything else, forget about the team. As long as you come here and you get a mic, if today we have a fight and you come here tomorrow and you still get the mic, then it means that it's all good.
No, you've always given me a fight, and then when I'm not making sense, I shut up. You know that.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I do that. And again, anybody who has been in your space when I'm there, they know that I shut up when I'm like, okay, I'm not making sense today. But that thing that was made captioning me like there's an evil pastor from Ohio, I'm like, what the? Like really? Like I'm
Pastor, you're about to cast. Hold up, Pastor. I want to mention somebody who's just sent 400 bob. Paul Odhiambo. Thank you very much, Paul Odhiambo. I got you 400 bob. So, Pastor, we are still moving. We have another 10 minutes. So
and when you move, let me tell you what's going to happen. Because your movement and your topics are deep, and then sometimes I take lots of notes. We need to talk on the side to dear that I take a lot of notes and I pay a lot of attention. So when I see people really buying into the movement, it excites me. So kama mtu atatuma hata kama ni moja 50 shillings, whatever it is, it really moves us forward.
Pastor, very good. I like the fact that unataka sisi tujinunue wenyewe, si ndio? And you know
that's how you stay. That ndio unajua ukinuliwa hautaji Anthony atakuwa co-host wako. Mimi najua. I know how this game goes. Ukinuliwa, this game is gone.
Bentil Baraza, thank you very much. We have received 500 bob. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Hey, Pastor, kumbe unaweza alafu Pastor, I wanted to now that I have all of you and your attention here, there's an event I'm doing on the 31st. And Anthony, I want you to come. Anthony, do you have a son? Or can we loan your son for that day?
My firstborn is a son.
How old is he?
Duncan is 12.
Good. He's the perfect age. So I'm having a father and son event on the 31st, and I want you to come through. Ali doesn't have any children right now. Ali, too bad you can't come. And you're old, but you can come as a spectator. And anybody else who's here. So I've received, hold up, let me keep mentioning these names as they said. Dismas Kisilu, thank you. I got your 1,000 bob. Who's here? The Hustler. The Hustler, you want to jump in?
Yeah. You know, I wanted to add on that point of you're struggling with married men because of one reason. Hatu wapendi ukweli. You know, they get into marriage when they don't have a clue about it, bwana. Mtu anaenda na okoto wa smart. So even here, they won't tell you the truth. Because unacheki, like a country like Africa is where we have the highest populations. A country like Nigeria, sasa unajiuliza mbona a third world country iko such a high population na development hata iendelei. Wale watu, the people that don't have a clue of what is going on in this world, ama the poorest of the people in the world, ndio napata watoto wengi sana. It's because weaker people ain't shit people are just joining and getting married to get kids that ain't shit, thinking that these kids will be anything, and ile fuck up iko hapa ni ngori sana, and these people won't accept that. That's why mtu atashikilia hizo stories zake za marriage forever. It's hard for you to get such a person to come to this other side of reality, because I don't deal in reality. you're dealing with the woman mwenye ako sahi, tuna deal na mtu pia sisi, our character yetu in this 21st century, the men right now are so philanderous, yani tunataka kukula kila mwanamke, we are just hata tujielewi, then you go and get into marriage with a person that are kwa streets kama wewe, unadhani mta build anything? 10 years down the line you are nothing, your wife pays nothing, mnasumbuana hapo because you are not the right people for each other. Amko mmekaa chini vizuri mkaangalia what
you know what you're trying to say, the hustler. Just mute your mic kidogo. I ongeza your point. Because umesema mtu wa streets kama mimi. Unacheki mtu kama mimi kukaa na dem will be very hard because I have been on the streets, so I can smell, even when it's not there, I can smell it. I can smell deception, and I'm always looking out for it because of all the trauma and the memory that I have of that. So I cannot be a good husband. If a woman has been in the streets, she cannot make a good wife because the streets are calling. Okay? So you have to understand where you are. Because right now, a lot of people are leaving their homes damaged. And the society is still telling them, get into marriage. Marriage is not for damaged people. Because if you're damaged, you're going to raise damaged kids. You won't even know when you're doing it. But where do you think the homosexuals are coming from? Marriage is not for damaged people. It's for clean. That's why it used to happen under the watchful eye of the father of the groom and the father of the bride and everybody else in the community. But there's no way they would have given you a good man and a woman who's on the streets. The whole village would have come to say, hey, listen, there's no way this guy is marrying this whore. So the whores were never married. Whores were known to be whores. Whores are the ones who used to raise bastards. So now we've normalized that, and now we're expecting so much from everybody. We're expecting now these people who've been raised as bastards to go and be husbands. How? What are you guys talking about? These guys who've been raised by weak fathers to go be husbands, what do you think they're going to do? If the father was weak, this guy's going to be weak times 10. So by the time he's leaving that marriage, he's worse off. He should have been born in the streets as a street child. God damn it. Bogu, I wanted to hear from
What's an end pole for one point, as I encourage people to honestly, okay. Okay. I'll send you my number because this is really bad. Umesema, oh gosh, you made a very good pitch in every statement, and then umesema, these people, the damaged people. Where do you think the homosexuals have come from? Oh my gosh, that's so wrong. There's no science behind that. You think that people become homosexuals because they come from bad, damaged families? I think it's a philosophical problem. Because, okay, please, I know this is recorded and you want to get it. Oh my gosh, you have to go back to that. What you just said, and I was paying attention. So for you, you think people are homosexuals because they are from a damaged family? That's what you just said today. I keep saying this.
So
oh my gosh.
Let me make that point better so that you can now, put it somewhere. You can keep it as a recording. So every time when you get into your house, just press play. Press play. Okay, I'm trying to bring Sherry up. Just hold on 1 second. So I said these people who are coming from. Hold on, the hustler. And I interrupted the hustler. I said these people who are coming from the relationship that is not structured and supported by the community, which is these useless marriages that all of you have right now, where both of you are damaging each other. What do you think you're doing to the kids? Because the reason for the man to be with the woman is very different from for the reason from the woman to be with the man. It's not society. It is two liars with each other, lying to each other that they need to be with each other. Yet one is there for sex, another is there for resources. I mean, it is obvious. The only thing that married men complain about, is that there is no sex in marriage. The woman doesn't respect him. She doesn't do what she used to do. Remember what she used to do? Then on the other hand, the woman, she's there for the money. She's there for the resources. So this is the reality. So now these two people,
the world listens to you.
Imagine
the world listens to you. The world listens to you. Okay.
Let me finish the point. Then I swear I'll even go feed the cat. So these two people are fighting for supremacy in this marriage. Okay, they're fighting for power because that's what a marriage is. Eventually, it will be who's the one who's leading. And the woman who, if she has gone through any university or she studied somewhere, she cannot allow you just to lead. She has been given an opinion, she won't allow you to. So it will be a fight for power, and you guys are fighting and fighting and fighting, and the kids are seeing this. So the kids are growing up damaged because they're seeing the man's power being challenged daily by the woman. And if the man ever becomes violent or he raises his voice, it continues to do more damage to the kids. So at some point, these kids are going to resist whatever that looked like. So whatever it is they saw at home, they say, hey, we don't want that. Okay? And they resist it. One day, whatever they are resisting, they shall get into it. Because remember, trauma is going to look for trauma. If you've been traumatized, you're going to look for somebody who's traumatized. So you two traumatized people who've come from relationships that should never exist.